penned at the Gigiri police station following his arrest by DCI officers over 12.5 billion shillings questionable tenders.
I, Lieutenant General Francis Ogolla, Vice Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces, do swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Republic of Kenya.
And changes in the military. Major General Francis Ogolla appointed the Vice Chief of Defence Forces, replacing Lieutenant General Franklin Magalu, whose 40-year term of service comes to an end.
Baby, to make you city, cause love isn't here right now. I guess we'll never know. Azazi wameshikanare, eti penzi letu tuisare. Lakini baby usijali.
This week, the spotlight is on Mviri the storyteller. Mviri, a talented songwriter, guitarist, and a performing artist signed under Soul Generation record, is known for his effortless vocals. The versatile musician has hits like Kisi Badai, Kitenge, and Baridi under his belt. Catch Mviri the storyteller on Easy Friday at 9:45 p.m. with Shiksha Arora only on KBC Channel 1.
Kwa majina yangu naitwa Eriki, ama unaweza niita Mugaka. Mimi ni socha. Kazi yangu ni kuchunga mali ya wenyewe. Hakuna kitu kwa uchungu sana kama mtu kupoteza, especially pesa ameweka kwa nyumba ama ofisini. Na hizo kesi ukuwa ngumu sana kufuatiliwa, na waomba wenzangu kama vile mimi ufanya, weka pesa yako kwa bank account juu KDIC imekuhakikishia iko safe. Weka kitu kwa bank.
Be sure, check out for a KDIC sticker in your banking hall. KDIC, protecting your deposits.
Now, a few hours ago, tennis superstar Naomi Osaka lit the Olympic cauldron, officially marking the beginning of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. We have all the details right here on Easy Friday. My name is Indimuli.
And my name is Shiksha Arora. Excitement is definitely in the air. Later on, we've got the one and only Viri. So all you need to do is stay #EasyFriday on social media. KC Badai. For now, it's time for the highlights.
This to us and to the members who have instructed us is an attack on the independence of the judiciary.
Judges Agri Muchelule and Said Chitem were arrested, interrogated and released unconditionally by DCI detectives.
They have declined to give him a free bond, to release him.
I was not given the opportunity to represent him or even to be present when he was being told to record a statement.
Madira MP Rigathi Gachagua to spend the weekend at the Gigiri police station following his arrest by DCI officers over 12.5 billion shillings questionable tenders.
I, Lieutenant General Francis Ogola, Vice Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces, do swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Republic of Kenya.
And changes in the military. Major General Francis Ogola appointed the Vice Chief of Defence Forces, replacing Lieutenant General Franklin Mgalu, whose 40-year term of service comes to an end.
We're glad you Easy Friday. Remember, the hashtag is Easy Friday. Talk to us on Twitter. My handle is @Shiksha Arora. We've got Fred's handle @Fred Indimuli.
At KBC Channel 1 as well.
Absolutely. The sign language interpreter today is Lucy Mora.
Let's kick off this bulletin. President Uhuru Kenyatta has promoted Major General Francis Ogola to the rank of Lieutenant General and subsequently appointed him as the Vice Chief of Defence Forces.
Now, the President, who is the Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces, has also elevated Brigadier John M. Omenda to Major General and Commander of the Kenya Air Force.
Notably, Major General Mohammed Badi has been promoted to the rank of Lieutenant General and remains the Director General of the Nairobi Metropolitan Service.
Here's that story.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has effected changes in the Kenya Defence Forces. As Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces, the President has promoted Major General Francis Ogola to the rank of Lieutenant General and appointed him the Vice Chief of Defence Forces.
Do swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance.
Ogola, who has been Commander of the Kenya Air Force, replaces Lieutenant General Franklin Mgalu, whose term of service has come to an end after serving for 40 years. Lieutenant General Mgalu served before as the Commander of the Kenya Navy. The President has also promoted Brigadier John M. Omenda to the rank of Major General and appointed him the Commander of the Kenya Air Force.
People and Republic of Kenya, and obey all laws, orders, regulations, directions and instructions.
Major General Albert K. Kendagor has been promoted to the rank of Lieutenant General and appointed Force Commander Designated of AMISOM. Major General Jonah Mwangi has been promoted to the rank of Lieutenant General and appointed Chancellor of the National Defence University, Kenya. Major General William Shume has been appointed Commander of the Kenya Army, replacing Major General Kendagor. Notably, Major General Mohammed Badi has been promoted to the rank of Lieutenant General but remains the Director General of the Nairobi Metropolitan Service. Suleiman Yeri, Easy Friday.
Madeira Member of Parliament Rigathi Gachagua will spend the weekend at the Gigiri police station following his arrest by DCI officers at his Sagana home in Nyeri County earlier today. His lawyers Susan Kihika and Irongo Kangata, however, say they will continue pushing for his release despite being denied bond, saying the MP is not a flight risk. The Madeira MP has been under investigations over questionable tenders amounting to 12 billion shillings involving his companies.
The Madeira Member of Parliament was arrested Friday morning at his Sagana home in Nyeri and transferred to the DCI headquarters along Kiambu Road for questioning. Gachagua, who spent the better part of the day with detectives, is allegedly being questioned on the source of 12.5 billion shillings that passed through his accounts. Members of Parliament allied to the Hustler movement are now claiming the arrest is politically motivated.
The charges which have been leveled against our colleague are frivolous, they are untrue.
We are also aware they intend and plan to arrest Honorable Moses Kuria on Monday. I am certain Moses Kuria will be waiting for him We know they intend to arrest Dennis Itumbi. We are also reliably informed that they were reviewing video footage of my public utterances since 2013, looking for what they are saying is a charge of incitement.
Gachagwa's lawyers could not secure his release, saying that their client has been denied bond and will spend the weekend at the Gigiri police station.
He called me, he gave me instructions to be his lawyer. I came here, I was blocked by the police to access him. I was not given the opportunity to represent him or even to be present when he was being told to record a statement.
They sound very trumped up charges, obviously, and so today they've decided, and then on top of that, they have declined to give him a free bond to release him, because we had told them we can appear on Monday in court, but they said no. They have instructions that he must spend the weekend in the cells.
Rigathi is suspected of fraudulently securing tenders through 22 companies, majority of them being proxies with the money ending in his personal accounts. Yusuf Faru reporting for Easy Friday.
Now, the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games got underway today with a colourful opening ceremony that was held in Japan's Tokyo Olympic Stadium without spectators. Every athlete entered the stadium wearing a mask, and the national delegations of athletes marching around the stadium were far smaller than usual, ranging from just a handful of people to a few dozen.
The opening ceremony of the Tokyo Olympics took place in a nearly empty stadium after a year-long pandemic postponement and a build-up marred by scandal and controversy. Just a few hundred officials and dignitaries were in the stands of the 68,000-seat venue, including French President Emmanuel Macron, US First Lady Jill Biden, and Japan's Emperor Naruhito, who declared the games officially open. Overseas fans were banned for the first time in the history of the games, and domestic spectators can only watch events at a handful of venues. Athletes, support staff, and media will be subject to strict COVID-19 protocols, including regular testing and daily health checks. Every athlete entered the stadium wearing a mask, and the national delegations of athletes marching around the stadium were far smaller than usual, ranging from just a handful of people to a few dozen.
Do stand by for more Olympic news from Team Kenya later on in this bulletin. But now to politics. Deputy President William Ruto has asked MPs to enact laws that are just, fair, and that promote equality among all Kenyans. In reference to the BBI, Ruto said the document, if passed, was not only discriminatory but also undermined the rights of any person.
Speaking at the Buruburu Full Gospel Church during the concession of Bishop Isaac Kariuki, as the regional overseer, the deputy president said the BBI process was all along a misconception and meant to benefit a few individuals.
Ole wenu mnaotunga sheria zisizo za haki, nyinyi mnaopitisha sheria za kunyima watu maskini haki yao. Mutajificha wapi adhabu ya Mungu ikiwajia?
The church leaders cautioning police against selective application of law.
We want peace, and as a church we are saying we want that coexistence, harmonious coexistence, peaceful coexistence ya all communities, ya watu wa aina zote bila kutugawanya. Tunataka sote tuwe wa Kenya moja.
Ruto later addressed members of the public in Buruburu town. The deputy president said he was not scared by plans by some leaders to gang up against him ahead of 2022.
Hatuwezi kuwa tunaongea mambo ya vyeo na mamlaka. Lazima tuongee mambo ya uchumi. Ndio kila mtu, yule ambaye hana kazi apate kazi, yule ambaye hana biashara apate biashara. Ndio Kenya hii tuibadilishe kwa kubadilisha uchumi.
Elsewhere, the Akamba Clans Council has endorsed Governor Kivuta Kibwana's 2022 presidential ambition. The elders, led by their chairman Boniface Kilonzo, trooped to Kibwana's residence in Wote to check on him following his surgery in May and made the announcement.
I'm very sure he can make it. That's why tutaongea tumchague kuwa kiongozi katika kutoka Ukambani wa kwenda kuitisha kura.
Tuje sote ndio tujenge community, tuishikanishe na Kenya kwa ujumla, ndio tuende mbele, tusipotee, mambo ya maendeleo yaangaliwe vilivyo.
Suleiman Yeri, Easy Friday.
Moving on, oral interviews for the 4 positions of member of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, ended today with Professor Richard Okoth Oduor, Dr. Rose Musyoka and Roslyn Odhiambo facing the IEBC selection panel chaired by Elizabeth Muli. Now, the 3 candidates were put to task to explain the measures they would take to tackle corruption, which is perceived as an impediment in the delivery of a free, fair and credible election by the electoral body. Ben Chumba has that story.
For 12 days, candidates have been appearing before the IEBC selection panel, charged with identifying suitable candidates for position of Commissioner of IEBC. Friday saw Professor Richard Okoth Oduor, Dr. Rose Musyoka and Roslyn Odhiambo taking the hot seat.
I think if the commissioners embrace ethical leadership, they should be able to insulate themselves from interference. I know there are many ways the state can try to interfere, like withholding finances and doing several things, but I think if you are a formidable team, you can be able to stand your ground and retain your independence.
The candidates were tasked to explain how they will address corruption issues.
The commission you served was afflicted by allegations of corruption, inefficiency and ethical misconduct.
Those allegations also arose towards the end of our term. And I want to state that corruption is like sin, and it is not transferable. Neither is it collective.
The Elizabeth Muli chaired panel then sought their views on the legislation that will make it mandatory for every Kenyan to vote.
I want us to be realistic, practical, and sometimes it is good not to live in denial. Do you think there is a problem of registration of young people which affects registration as a voter?
Of course, yes. For me, making it mandatory probably is the direction to go in terms of people then taking it seriously and therefore want to participate on it. And because of that, there will be a decision to be done. It might infringe in the current as currently prescribed, but like you say, it is a discussion that is critical and we can have it.
After interviewing 35 candidates, the search for 4 IEBC commissioners now enters the next stage, where the selection panel will retreat to consider the applications and then forward 4 names to the president, who will in turn seek approval of the nominees from the National Assembly. Ben Chumba, Easy Friday.
To health matters now, Kenya COVID-19 positivity rate has gone down to 11.4% in the last 24 hours. The Ministry of Health says 787 new infections were recorded over the same period from 6,892 samples tested. So far, the country has 195,898 cases, while cumulative tests conducted so far stand at 2,081,502. Now, 424 patients have recovered from the disease, with 293 from the home-based isolation and care program, while 131 are from various health facilities countrywide. Only 1 patient lost the fight between Thursday and Friday, while 11 deaths were reported after conducting facility record audits, raising the death toll to 3,838. Now, globally, 192,735,392 people have tested positive, while 4,139,009 have died of COVID-19, according to data from the Johns Hopkins University. Still with COVID stories, the government has partnered with development agencies to set up 9 COVID-19 testing facilities in all border points to tame the spread of the virus. Speaking at Maika Suftu border in Mandera County, the Chief Administrative Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Rashid Aman, said surveillance and screening at the entry points will help the country prevent entry by those who might have contracted the virus.
A delegation from the Ministry of Health, Development Partners and diplomats were in Mandera County to assess measures that have been put in place for COVID-19 surveillance. The delegation toured Maika Suftu border point for first-hand information on what the government was doing in policing its borders. The Chief Administrative Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Rashid Aman, who was leading the team, said 9 testing facilities will be up and running at the border points in order to combat the spread of coronavirus.
Through EU funding to support us to set up at least 9 laboratories for testing along the northern corridor, but also around the borders of the borders that we have with countries, neighboring countries.
The Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD Executive Secretary Dr. Wokne Gebeyeho, who was part of the delegation, said they will continue helping partner states in the fight against the pandemic.
Health integration is less conflict, less controversial, less political. So really, this will be an achievable.
Where not only the ministry but also IGAD has really come forward to help us with consumables of COVID-19, whether it's PPEs and other things.
With Area Governor Ali Roba lamented on the influx of Ethiopians and Somalian nationals seeking healthcare services in Mandera County, straining the available facilities.
Ministry has supported us quite well. The facility and the mess is all 100% functional, as you've seen today. From the time we've started, it's working extremely well, serving the population across the border.
The second tractor has a plow on the...
Now, the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection has warned all recruitment agencies operating illegally in the country that they will face the full force of the law. Labour and Social Protection Cabinet Secretary Simon Chelagui revealed that only 40% of the agencies have complied, with the law. Take a look.
The mushrooming of unregistered or fake recruitment agencies in the country has not only left its targets a desperate lot, but also caught the attention of the government. On the spot are those recruiting migrant domestic workers who later face abuse and exploitation in the hands of their employer. Labour Cabinet Secretary Simon Chelagui has subsequently read a riot act to search rogue recruitment agencies.
We don't allow people sitting in a room somewhere in town and starting to recruit. We don't know where they are taking Kenyans. We don't know who they are. We don't know what mission they have, and therefore these are issues that lead us to wrong ends.
The migrant will know where to go and report and provide confidential information in case of any exploitation, in case of any abuse.
The Labour CS, however, said it was not all bleak, revealing that Kenya has made a remittance of 310 billion shillings last year from migrant workers.
Labour migration has immense socio-economic benefits to both the countries of origin and destination.
Unless that is maintained, of course, we must take care of humanity and ensure that everybody where they are working from, they are comfortable.
He spoke during the unveiling of the technical committee on establishment of the oversight and community feedback mechanisms in Nairobi. It is now official that all recruitment agencies operating illegally in the country and those that have been playing hide and seek will have nowhere to go after the Ministry of Labour, in conjunction with the National Employment Authority, launched a technical committee to oversight all of them in the country. Timothy Kipnosu, Easy Friday, Nairobi.
All right, and with that, it's time to take our first commercial break. But before we do that, keep interacting with us. The hashtag is Easy Friday. Lots of messages coming in on Twitter and on Facebook as well. We've got one from Karinga Simon who says, tuned in from the slopes of Mount Kilimanjaro.
Wow. All the way in Tanzania.
Love it.
Wow. Porus 12345 says, Webuye tunakondoa muko juu.
Right. We've got another one from Kremlin who's tuned in from Naivasha. Thank you so much for that. We're loving your company as always.
And Eddie Crossfire says, you're looking hot, Shiksha.
Okay.
The best news show.
Much appreciated.
This is
an
definitely
easy Friday. Let's take that short commercial break.
Kitu tunataka nchi hii, wananchi tunataka umoja wa wananchi. Hatutaki mtu yeyote ama hata kabila yote kuachwa hii. Tunataka taifa lisimame, kwa sababu umoja ndio nini? Nguvu. Na ndio na mimi nasema na laani wale ambao kazi yao ni kuimba ukabila, kueneza siasa ya kikabila. Kutoka mdomo wangu wasikie leo Saitoti hataimba ukabila, na nitawafanyia kazi watu wa Kenya ni kuwa chini ya rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya.
Kwa majina yangu naitwa Eriki, ama unaweza niita Mugaka. Mimi ni socha. Kazi yangu ni kuchunga mali ya wenyewe. Hakuna kitu uko uchungu sana kama mtu kupoteza, especially pesa ameweka kwa nyumba ama ofisini. Na hizo kesi ukuwa ngumu sana kufuatiliwa. Na waomba wenzangu, kama vile mimi ufanya, weka pesa yako kwa panga account juu KDIC imekuhakikishia iko safe. Weka kitu kwa panga.
Be sure, check out for a KDIC sticker in your banking hall. KDIC, protecting your deposits.
This is where it all began. As the mother of broadcasting in Kenya, you can trust KBC to bring you authentic news and programs to your living room. As KBC, we take pride in our unrivaled heritage as Kenya's trusted national broadcaster. Commanding over 92% digital television signal coverage of our country, 23 radio services that cut across our entire language spectrum, a national, regional and international digital presence backed by the most experienced and top-notch broadcast professionals in the industry.
A very good evening to you.
The new look Kenya Broadcasting Corporation is truly ahead of the pack. Turn to the mother of broadcasting in Kenya for stories that resonate with our identity, our aspirations as a people united in purpose. Real stories of hard work, of passion, of creativity, of big dreams. Stories that cement our nationhood. Stories that bring us together as one. We take pride in our shared heritage and destiny. KBC, informing, educating and entertaining Kenyans as one nation. KBC, Kenya's listening, Kenya's watching.
Welcome back. You're still watching Easy Friday right here on KBC Channel 1, and the hashtag to use this entire hour is Easy Friday.
All right, moving on to the next story, where Chief Justice Martha Koome has assured judges and judicial officers of judicial independence, urging them to continue discharging their duties without fear and in accordance to the law.
Now, Koome's assurance follows the arrest and interrogation of judges Aggrey Muchelule and Said Chitembwe on allegations that they were to receive a 5 million shillings bribe.
In the meantime, the Constitutional Court has prohibited the DCI from detaining or prosecuting Muchelule and Chitembwe until the petition filed by the Kenya Magistrates and Judges Association stopping any action against the two judges is determined.
In a statement to newsrooms, Chief Justice Martha Koome said she had received a brief of the arrest on Thursday of judges Aggrey Muchelule and Said Chitembwe. She, however, declined to delve further into the particulars of the matter as it was pending in court following the petition filed on Friday by the Kenya Magistrate and Judges Association.
Who are the accusers? Did the judges face the accusers? The accusers were not present. There is no statement. There is no complaint. There is no OB.
The actions of the DCI was aimed, one, to embarrass the judges, to humiliate the judges. Remember, Justice Mchelule was the judge under commission of the JC.
They claimed no information was given or warrant of arrest issued prior to their arrest, attributing the turn of events to failure by the president to gazette the appointment of the two judges to the Court of Appeal as directed by the Judicial Service Commission.
To subject them to unwarranted searches in their chambers at the law courts. It's a dreadful act, a dreadful act of impunity, in the sense that it strikes at the very heart of justice.
Muchelule and Chitembwe were interrogated and later released unconditionally after a search of the alleged loot at the judges' chambers proved futile. For Easy Friday, I'm Ben Troinjue.
Now, bringing to the latest on health matters, with the National Task Force on Cancer has cited lack of capacity for diagnosis, awareness creation and stigma as key causes of the widespread of the deadly disease amongst Kenyans. According to the National Cancer Institute of Kenya Chief Executive Officer Alfred Karagu, every year the country records 42,000 new cases of cancer, with breast cancer topping the list. Take a look.
The task force on cancer was in Mombasa for a public hearing on improving management of cancer in the country. The public saying lack of information, high cost of treatment and few treatment facilities are some of the challenges facing cancer patients. Saumu Mubarak, a cancer survivor from Mombasa, had her cervix removed, citing lack of funds and support as a reason to her ordeal.
Kwa sasa nimeshatolewa kizazi, ingawa ilikuwa ni ngumu kwangu, manake kuna changamoto nyingi. Kweli utafanyiwa screening, watakuacha. Haujui utaenda wapi, hujui utasaidiwa na nani. Mpaka upate mtu wa kushika mkono ndo uweze kusaidika.
Coast Hospice Programs Manager Eric Hamisi, however, tasked the government to invest more on doctors and health workers training on cancer, as well as opening cancer registry at county level to plan accordingly.
Tungependa NHIF ishughulikia wagonjwa kutoka kwa ile tunaita screening level, alafu waende kwenye treatment level, alafu na even diagnosis pia na palliative care.
National Cancer Institute of Kenya Chief Executive Officer Alfred Karagu said every county has a mammography machine for cancer diagnosis, but the uptake was low, with breast cancer and cervical cancer standing at 10% and 16% respectively.
Saratani ya cervical cancer ama njia ya uzazi ya wamama ambao ni takriban wamama 5,200, inafuatiwa na saratani ya esophagus ama ya koromeo, na ikifuatiwa na prostate cancer ambayo inapatikana kwa wanaume, na saratani ya colon ama maini.
The fact of the health systems, the fact that patients are on average, for instance, engaging with 2 or 3 health workers before the diagnosis is made, means that we also need to look at the system and how we can strengthen our ability of primary health care providers to do screening, early detection, and to have timely referrals so that our patients are diagnosed early.
The task force is traversing all the 47 counties for public hearings before writing a conclusive report on recommendations to help manage the deadly disease. Reporting for Easy Friday from Mombasa County, I'm Michael Mondiga.
Now, a businessman who was accused of shooting 2 police officers and a waiter at the Quivers Lounge in Nairobi will remain in police custody until August the 5th, when the court will pronounce his bail terms. Senior Principal Magistrate Esther Kimilu said the accused Dixon Janja Mararo would not be released until the Director of Criminal Investigations has taken all potential witnesses for protection. More on this in our county news wrap.
Mshtakiwa Dickens Njanja Mararo atasalia kwenye korokoro za polisi hadi tarehe 5 Agosti. Kadhalika
We do sincerely apologize for that slight mix-up. To other stories, the Kenya Forest Service has launched participatory forest management plans and signed forest management agreements for Gogoi Gazi Mangrove Forest in Msambweni Kale County as part of activities leading up to the International for the Conservation of the Mangrove Ecosystem, which is marked on July 26th annually. A similar exercise will be held in Zombo Forests in Lunga Kwale County tomorrow.
General Conference of the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization adopted the proclamation of the International Day for the Conservation of the Mangrove Ecosystem due to the concern on the loss and degradation of mangrove ecosystem worldwide. The day is marked every 26th day of July annually, and this year the theme is Mangrove Ecosystem Restoration for Climate Resilience and Sustainable Livelihood, a unique, special and vulnerable ecosystem. In Kenya, national celebration will be marked in Mombasa County at Tudor Creek by planting 200,000 mangrove propagates.
Benefit tunapata kwa kulinda mkoko yanazidi ile ya kuingia na kukata. Na tunazidisha kuambia wananchi wakubali wa benefit na zile inaitwa ecological services.
Before then, the Kenya Forest Service is running build-up activities including putting in place participatory forest management plans and forest management agreement in Kwale County.
Sasa ni tufanye kazi, tupande miti pale ile sehemu, na si kupanda tu, ni tuilinde ili ikue.
From the project we have been able to support at least 100 number of girls from the community.
Mangrove were declared government reserve forest through proclamation number 44 of 30th April 1932 as they provide services including carbon sequestration, habitat for biodiversity, shoreline protection, all key to climate change mitigation. Mohammed Adan, Easy Friday.
All right, let's take a look at what's happening in the world of business, where the government, through the Kenya Off-Grid Solar Access Project, plans to build 152 mini-grids in efforts to achieve a universal electricity connection by the end of next year. Now, the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority Director General Daniel Kipto Bargoria has said that this will be achieved by reviewing the off-grid regulations and private sector participation.
In the last 10 years, the government has intensified electrification efforts through the last mile connection, which has upscaled electricity access from 24% in 2013 to more than 70% in 2021. However, the main grid extension is expected to plateau due to the high cost of connecting households that are distant from the existing network.
The Kenya Off-Grid Solar Access Project, which is COSAP, will build 152 mini-grids which will be operated by either the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation, REREC, or the Kenya Power and Lighting Company, KPLC. In addition, the private sector is planning to establish over 130 mini-grids which are currently at various stages of development.
Plans are underway to build 152 mini-grids under the Kenya Off-Grid Solar Access Project to fill the demand. Currently, over 130 mini-grids are at various stages of development by the private sector.
We are looking at a Kenya National Electrification Strategy that is supporting the use of mini-grids to electrify the underserved counties or the rural counties where we do not have the national grid at the moment.
Mini-grids, most of which are powered by renewable energy sources, accelerate access to safe, affordable, sustainable and reliable energy, as well as providing alternative lighting and powering small and medium enterprises. The Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority is urging energy stakeholders to familiarize themselves with the draft energy mini-grid regulations to facilitate alternative electricity access in the country.
The regulations are meant to cover mini-grids of capacity up to 1 megawatt, So 1 megawatt would be equivalent to power almost 3,000 homes in Kenya, going by the average electricity consumption data for domestic households and SMEs that we have from Kenya Power. So we are looking at mini grids of up to a capacity of 1 megawatt, and that's where the framework will be covering. For cases where we may have mini grids above 1 megawatt, then we'll use the electricity licensing regulations that have been in place for quite some time.
If adopted, the new regulations will apply to mini grids of 1 megawatt capacity with a potential to feed 3,000 households, while those of a higher capacity will be governed by the existing electricity regulations.
Plans are underway to set up at least 152 mini grids in the country by the year 2022, at a time when government targets by that same timeline to have 100% electricity connection and distribution. If this is feasible and will come to fruition, only time will tell. I'm Regina Manyara reporting for the Prime Edition.
Now, insurance companies have been challenged to develop products that cater for both formal and informal sectors. Director of Pensions at the National Treasury, Michael Kagika, said that more than 15 million people in the informal sector are not covered by any insurance product. Kenya's insurance coverage stands at less than 3% of the country's gross domestic product, which is small compared to its peers. Take a look.
We are currently at 1.4 trillion in terms of assets, which is very good growth despite being a difficult year last year because of COVID. We have a well-diversified investment portfolio. We have investments in equities, in real estate, in government securities, in bonds, a little bit offshore, and so on. So we have a good investment portfolio, and we are confident that the industry will bounce back going forward.
We are at an unprecedented time of COVID. We do not know when it will go away. But what we know is we must prepare. Prepare well, prepare for eventualities so that our members do not get the effect on their retirement savings that they've done for a long time. Whether you are starting to save now, or you started a long time ago, or you are planning to start, so that it will cushion you if this happens.
Now, shares in Chinese ride-hailing giant Didi slumped by more than 11% in New York on Thursday. This comes after a report that regulators in Beijing are considering serious penalties for the company for data sharing allegations. This and other stories from across the globe.
Didi made its U.S. stock market debut at the end of last month, raising $4.4 billion. Just 2 days later, China's internet regulator launched an investigation into the company over how it collects user data. The penalties could include fines, suspending some operations or government investments in the company, according to Bloomberg News. Citing people familiar with the matter, the report says that the company could even be forced to remove its shares from the U.S. stock market. Meanwhile, shares in Indian food delivery app Zomato have soared by more than 80% in their stock market debut. The listing has been pushed forward by 4 days and comes as India's stock market nears all-time high. The stellar performance reflects strong investor interest in internet-based consumer startups that are expected to do well in the pandemic. Zomato's share offering last week drew bids worth $46.3 billion, as it was more than 38 times oversubscribed. Finally, Twitter Incorporation on Thursday reported higher revenue growth than Wall Street had expected, as the social media platform rolled out ad targeting improvements to help brands reach customers. Shares of Twitter have risen from 5% to 73% in trading after the bell. Since the start of the year, Twitter has raced to introduce products in new areas like audio-only chat rooms and newsletter publishing in an effort to turn around years of business stagnation and reach its goal of doubling annual revenue by 2023.
And that's all that we had for you tonight on Easy Friday in terms of matters business. But don't go anywhere. After this short commercial break, I'll be handing it over to Fred Indimuli as he takes you through sports news. An exciting time to be alive. Of course, Tokyo 2020 Olympics underway tonight was the opening ceremony. Fred Indimuli will bring to you all that and much more.
Going to have a baby.
The doctor is ready to see you. Please follow me.
How do you maintain such a body?
Juice detox. Me, imagine it has worked for me.
Definitely need that kind of action.
You might just decide to marry you and you live happily ever after. Everything I have is by me and me alone. My own business.
This one is a magnet for abusers.
My name is Tony Gashuna and I'm a wildlife warrior.
This beautiful black and white monkey is rare and is found only in the coastal forests of East Africa, as well as in the Congo rainforests.
All they need is trees. That's what they eat, that's where they live, that's how they move. Like very simple guys.
They are endangered not because of their beautiful pelts.
The road has been cut right through the forest and the monkeys have to cross the road.
This is Wildlife Warriors, and I'm Paula Kahumbu.
Because the only snowman we need to worry about is the one that you're looking at right here.
Mayor of Miami himself, the Caramel Camacho.
On tech. So we have amazing stuff lined up for you. I hope you're ready for this.
Me, I understand science revolves around life.
How is artificial intelligence manifesting itself in Kenya?
In our context, as a country, Kenya, we are already applying and using applications of artificial intelligence.
Largely by way of artificial intelligence and looking at the context of businesses, the philosophy is a shift.
Time now for sports news. Rogers Kwemoi will be looking to break a 53-year-old gold spell in men's 10,000 meters for Team Kenya at the Tokyo Olympic Games that officially began today. Naftali Temu was the last Kenyan to clinch an Olympic gold medal in the men's 10,000 meters at the 1968 Olympics in Mexico City, and the country has hungered for too long for another gold in the long-distance race.
2018 10,000 meters Commonwealth Games bronze medalist Rogers Kwemoi will be in the good company of Weldon Kirui in the race, which will be on the first day of track and field competition come next week Friday.
Kwa sahi nimeprepare mzuri na kwa ile prongs nilipata leo, kwa matumaini yenye niko nayo leo lazima nikuwe katikati ya 1-2.
In February, he beat the big wigs world half marathon record holder Kibiwot Kandie, two-time world cross-country champion Geoffrey Kamworor, and 2019 Kenyan 5,000 meters champion Daniel Simiyu in the men's 10,000 meters national cross-country championship. Kwemoi will now have the task of breaking the spell without his friend and training partner Geoffrey Kamworor after being ruled out due to injury. Frederick Mwoki for Easy Friday.
Now, Wilson Kiprugut Chumo, the first Kenyan to win an Olympics medal in 1964, was as the Kenyan athletes competing at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics to do their best to bring medals back home. This year's games are being held in the city where Chumo won a first medal for Kenya in the 800 meters race.
Wilson Kiprugut Chumo is an excited man as the 2020 Tokyo Olympics returns 57 years to the city he participated and won the first medal for Kenya.
Nilifanya kazi ile natakiwa, nilijaribu kabisa wakati huo wa sport, nilifanya ya kutosha. Nilikuwa na ulizo sawa, unaonaje, unasikiaje? Ndio, kwa utasikia kwa uoga, ingine ni muoga, ingine nafanya vizuri. Uko brave, ile na mtu ambaye hawezi kutishwa, nasema huyu mtu anakimbia kama msiane.
83-year-old Chumo is a retired Kenyan sprinter who competed in the 1964 and 1968 Olympics in the 800 meters.
Usiokope. Usione kama kitu ambacho ndako keneni kwako. Nilikuwa na sitaiti sana ili nilete medali.
Arriving at his Kipchebor home in Kericho County, Chumo is excited to recount how his hard work in sports led to his big win in Tokyo in 1964. He calls on the Kenyan athletes who are participating in the Tokyo Olympics to work hard and keep off doping.
Katika historia yake amekuwa ni mzee mwenye ako na nidhamu, tujisikie chochote, amekuwa kielelezo na pia ni shujaa wetu. Tunajivunia kama wilaya Kericho tukiwa na shujaa. Na ningeomba hata county government iweze kupeana hiyo uwanja aitwe jina yake Wilson Kiprugut Stadium.
Chumo received invitation by the Embassy of Japan to attend this year's Olympics in Tokyo, but could not make it because of his age.
Now, the International Paralympic Committee has outlined a range of measures on when and where during the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games participants may demonstrate, protest and make political statements. The IEBC Athletes Council briefed the IEBC Governing Board after a 9-month athlete-led consultation with Paralympians and para-athletes regarding Section 1, Chapter 3, Article 2.2 of the IEBC's version of the IOC's Rule 50. With just over 30 days to go, the IEBC governing body approved measures proposed by the IEBC Athletes Council, which can be practically implemented in time for the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. Now, this includes allowing participants to demonstrate, protest and or make political statements as follows, provided that their demonstrations, protests and or political statements do not involve any impermissible elements. And away from the happenings in Tokyo, back home, Gor Mahia chairman Ambrose Rachier has warned vendors using the club's trademark without authority that they risk a fine of not less than 200,000 shillings or imprisonment. Rachier shared the sentiments as the club received a trademark license through the Kenya Industrial Property Institute in accordance with the Trademarks Act Cap 506. The club has 4 trademarks which include Serikal, Kogalo, the Green Army and Gor Mahia FC logo.
Wanazidi kujitajirisha kwa kuuza mali kama jazi na vifaa vingine ambavyo ni mali ya klabu bila malipo, hasa jazes, hoods. Ukiingia kwenye study utakuta watu wengi ambao wamepanga mali mbalimbali ambazo zina jina ya klabu na ni watu ambao hatuwafahamu.
Illegal use of Gor Mahia FC trademarks may attract fines of up to but not limited to 200,000 shillings or imprisonment of not more than 5 years or both. So if perhaps you are an offender and we decide to go the legal way, be prepared to pay those fines.
Now you know you cannot misuse the logo or the words Serikal, Kogalo, Green Army or the official Gor Mahia FC logo. You'll get into trouble. Now that's a sport. Let's take a break. We'll have more after this.
Kwa majina yangu naitwa Eriki, ama unaweza niita Mogaka. Mimi ni socha. Kazi yangu ni kuchunga mali ya wenyewe. Hakuna kitu kwa uchungu sana kama mtu kupoteza, especially pesa ameweka kwa nyumba ama ofisini. Na hizo kesi ukuwa ngumu sana kufuatiliwa. Na waomba wenzangu, kama vile mimi ufanya, weka pesa yako kwa panga account juu KDIC imekuhakikishia iko safe. Weka kitu kwa panga.
Be sure, check out for a KDIC sticker in your banking hall. KDIC, protecting your deposits.
I'm ever going to have a baby. The doctor is ready to see you. Please follow me. How do you maintain such a body?
Juice detox. Me imagine it has worked for me.
Definitely need that kind of action.
I might just decide to marry you and you live happily ever after. Everything I have is by me and me alone.
Mind your own business.
This one is a magnet for abusers. Goja.
Because the only snowman we need to worry about is the one that you're looking at right here.
Mayor of Miami himself, Guillermo Camacho.
Yes, indeed. You're still watching Easy Friday right here on KBC Channel 1 at Levis_Exa says Easy Friday livens up the Friday in these curfew times. Well, I'm telling you, you ain't seen nothing yet. Nivri, the storyteller, in studio after this. Kama uko sawa niko sawa, kesi baadaye. From me, Fred Indimuli, good night. Now to Shiksha and Nivri.
Absolutely, you heard it from Fred Indimuli. Nviri is here. He's going to be performing live in action. Remember, all the fun happens on #EasyFriday. It's as easy as it gets. Nviri, the storyteller, is going to be on the other side of the studio. For now, Call Jack's right here. So we're excited to see what he's got for us. Nviri, you ready?
Baridi ni mbaya, hii baridi nimetetemeka ya kutosha, kuja unikumbatie. Nimejaribu kahawa, nikajaribu cage, najua ukikuja utafanya idisapie. Hey, shida zangu si za vodka, shida zangu si za dokta. Sema leo utatoka na mimi nitakungoja. Shida zangu si za vodka, shida zangu si za dokta. Sema leo utatoka na mimi nitakungoja. Sema nijipange, sema nijipange, ningependa kukuona leo, tujibambe bambe. Sema nijipange, sema nijipange, ningependa kukuona leo, tujibambe. Ula, the storyteller, yeah, I know. Natamani yako joto, natamani maso, nimetetemeka ya kutosha, njoo nikumbatie. Nimejaribu blanketi, moto kwenye fireplace, najua ukikuja utafanya idisapie. Nehi, shida zangu si za dokta, ama whiskey. Je, niambie utatoka na mimi nitakungoja. Shida zangu si za dokta, shida zangu si za vodka. Sema leo utatoka na mimi nitakungoja. Sema nijipange, sema nijipange, ningependa kukuona leo, tujibambe bambe. Sema nijipange, sema nijipange, ningependa kukuona leo, tujibambe. Hii baridi ni mbaya, hii baridi baridi ya Julai, oh ni mbaya, hii baridi
Yep, he said it all. Baridi ni mbaya, by the way. Thank you, Nviri, a songwriter, a singer, a guitarist, a video editor. What can't this man do? I've known him for a while, and I have to say his talent knows no bounds. I mean, I heard it from the other side of the studio, and like I felt those goosebumps. You know, your voice is like butter, my guy.
Ooh, good Lord. Louder for the people on the other side.
Absolutely. So, Nviri, you know, you started this journey a while ago with Soul Generation. You started off as a video editor for them, and then slowly creeped in. You know, they couldn't say no to your talent. At the end of the day, let's be honest, you are extremely incredible at what you do.
Thank you.
But like, what's your passion? Because we know you do a few things. As I said, you write, you sing, you play the guitar, you edit, you're a music engineer as well. I've done my research. What's your best?
I respect songwriting more.
Okay.
Because it connects to me more.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first level is songwriting, then there's as a whole it's just music.
It's just music.
Yeah, the video editing and production was a means to an end. Yeah.
How did you learn how to play the guitar?
YouTube, the University of YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't go for any classes or anything, online classes, just YouTube?
Yeah. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Hey, ain't nobody got time for that. What we have time for right now is to find out how his experience was when he wrote the song Melanin.
That's what's up. Yeah.
How was that experience?
I mean, it was a situation whereby preparation meets opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've been doing songwriting for a minute, and then we got to a point where South Soul were also trying to get a collab with Butter Rankings.
Oh.
But at that time, while we were doing the song, it was supposed just to be a collab of Mviri and Bien.
Bien, right.
Because we did a lot of songwriting together.
Yes.
Then later on, he was pushing me into commercializing my music, whereby even songwriting pays.
Yes.
Because after Melanin, I started getting a lot of songwriting gigs.
Oh.
So that was a plus.
Opportunities came your way.
A lot. Hey, I was quoting like no one's business.
We'll probably ask him how much he's quoting, but during the break, I don't want to kuchoma right now, you know, say we're playing Chini ya Maji.
But now the rates are higher.
Okay, of course. I can understand. You know, Melanin is an international song. You managed to score a gig with Patoranking. He was officially in that particular song. And since then, your journey has been incredible, right? So, okay, well, you started off with Pombe Sigara, and then you moved on to which song? Was it Kesi Badai?
Overdose.
How can you forget Overdose? So your singing and of course the kind of music that you do has a particular direction, right? Yeah. So what do you like to write about most? Women? Situationships?
Matters of the heart. Entanglement.
Entanglement. Absolutely. You know,
matters of the heart.
Yeah.
In general, because we call it. We're writing soundtracks to our day-to-day lives.
Right.
So whatever you get to write about has to do something with what people go through, because we all share emotions, be it sadness, happiness, or whatever. We all experience the same thing.
Absolutely.
So by the time I write, it has to flow with that.
This Canairo. The things we see. Anyways, that's a story for another day.
Your experience.
No experience. I'm just a very visual person, so you know I observe a lot. So when I see things happening,
if you say so.
It is what it is at the end of the day. Yeah. So you've mentioned that, you know, you're very interested in songwriting. You've talked about your experience with music as well as a whole, because you're very passionate about it. Did you ever see yourself as Nviri the storyteller when you were much younger, or you wanted to be a doctor? Or an engineer? I think it was an engineer.
It was actually an engineer, because I was a big fan of science.
Okay.
But as I grew, I got a lot of love for music. So I decided no matter what happens, I'll still end up in music. Yes. So of course I could not imagine how I'd end up getting to that specific position,
right?
Or how it would be. You know, sometimes you just stand in front of a mirror and try to just live that dream for a second.
Bathroom singer.
Yeah, and you just try to experience it and even just imagine how that would be. But clearly what's going on right now is nothing that I would have imagined. It's far beyond.
It's bigger than you ever imagined.
Bigger,
it's massive.
And I think by the time you're imagining things, you're just limiting yourself.
Yeah,
because later on things become even greater than what you think.
So, you know, funny enough, when I heard the song Pombe Sigara, I remember I was like, I want to watch this guy perform, because your passion, you can hear it through your music. So what's been your most exciting experience performing on stage?
I think there was a time I performed Blankets and Wine.
Okay.
And I had an issue with my previous band, so I got a new band.
Right, just last minute.
Yeah, last minute. It was just 1 week to the event.
Okay.
This new band, these guys were very
enthusiastic, energetic.
They were on another level whereby if I don't deliver, they'll deliver on my behalf.
Right.
Yeah, so we got on stage and we were performing, and I had shown them a new song unreleased.
Okay.
And by the time we were performing it, the crowd was singing it.
Really?
Usinifanye hivo aje. Like, it was a chant going on over and over. I think I sang this song for almost 10 minutes. And it was raining at the same time. People getting emotional at that place. Yeah. And I felt it. I think that's the one memorable event.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you people are feeling the emotions, right?
Yeah, everything just fell into place. And that's the thing about live events, whereby you can never replicate something. Yeah, but the way I deliver on this specific show won't be the same way I deliver on another one.
Absolutely. What's your dream in terms of performance? Where would you love to perform in future when this situation comes down?
I definitely want to fill up a stadium.
Yeah?
Be it here or abroad, I'd want to fill up a stadium.
Yeah, and you see it happening, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
And not with filling up a stadium with other artists. No, it's just me.
Just you.
Seated there with my people doing my things.
Speak
Probably
to the
like
universe.
2-3 hour show.
Yeah.
Back to back, just going at it.
Yeah. And you know, it's interesting that you mentioned 2 to 3 hours of singing live. It's not easy at the end of the day. It requires a lot of practice. It requires a lot of dedication. So in terms of your rehearsals, are you strictly rehearsing every single day and working on your craft?
Yeah, it goes without saying.
Yeah.
You know, I found myself rehearsing every single day, you know, because we get inspired all the time. And I always have the urge to change a thing or two here and there, just to keep things exciting.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so that goes without saying.
Yeah.
And again, I'm a firm believer of action equals to reaction. Whatever you give the universe is what you get out of it. You can trick it.
I love the positive attitude.
Yeah.
But let's talk about your relationship with Soul Generation, you know, how it happened.
Relationship.
Don't worry, this situationship entanglement thing, we'll talk about it later. But for now, let's talk about Ben Soul. Let's talk about, you know, how you ended up getting signed under Soul Generation.
Yeah.
Were you expecting it? When it happened, what was your first reaction?
No, I definitely expected it.
You did?
Yeah, so they had mentioned this way before.
Okay.
That they're trying to start a record label, but in good time and with enough settings, then we'll get to start. Only that for me, it felt like it's taking a bit longer because I really wanted to be the storyteller.
So bad, yeah.
But it took its time, yeah. And at that time, I was still doing the video production for South Soul, so I could see the process that they were going through. And of course, they kept me on the loop just to know what's happening.
Yeah.
Only for the end of the whole timeline, just to, you know, these are fair people also.
Yeah.
They made sure that it's not only I that gets the opportunity, but other people.
Yes.
So we were given a platform where we were all chosen to perform to a live audience, and we get to decide, and they get to decide actually.
That was like a
how
competition.
We perform. Yeah, it's like an audition.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
That is the one thing, because the way we've been talking all through, I just figured it would be a walk in the park.
It would be you.
May just wake up, sign the contract, and we're good. But we had to go through that process, and I think it served its purpose well. We got signed a couple of artists, and the rest is,
as they say, history. And I love your friendship with Ben Soul. You know, you and him, when you're together, like you really enjoy each other's company. It's just my vibes too. So like when you and Ben Soul first started singing together, did you always get along? Or you guys fought at some point?
There's never been a fight. Actually,
really?
Funny enough, before I knew Ben Soul was Ben Soul, back in the hood, I got into a fight with his gang.
No way!
Yeah, without knowing.
Yeah.
So later on, after we got into the same label, is when I saw someone who looked familiar, and I wanted to start a fight. You know, like, this guy, I think, has crossed my path before. Then Ben Soul is like, no, that's my homie. Let it go. Then it clicked later on. I put 1 + 1 together. That time when we were about to fight, that was Ben Soul I saw.
I can't imagine Viri being a fighter. I mean, look at him, such a peaceful, calm guy with a guitar. I don't think he could come across as a fighter, but it's okay. We get to learn new things every single day, right, about the storyteller. Viri, so tell us, you know, your journey has been very interesting. Did you always have the support of your parents in terms of the direction you wanted to take with the music? Or were they the type who were like, no, finish your degree first and then go on to music?
With my parents, it has been 50-50 always.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think what they always wanted was for me to deliver.
Right.
Yeah. So the times when I showed no enthusiasm in a project, of course, they'd act up. But at the end of the day, my mom was key to this. When she told me, whatever direction you take, just be intentional about it and dive in. And I definitely did that, and every single day, even till today, she just still supports me. She sends me prayers, and she just encourages me, follows up to whatever I do.
Yeah.
Even the blogs that are happening, like, uko sawa.
Really? She actually sends you the blogs?
No, she does. Okay, her cousin sent her. Then,
what?
Of course,
and then she sends it to you.
Yeah, she forwards them. Like,
hey, what's going on?
Tuko pamoja.
What's going on?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah. All right, interesting. And Viri, tell me about your career in general. You know, I've seen you posting a lot of dance videos. Is that something you want to do professionally? Because that can help you. I'm a dancer.
Well, so let it be known, there's this fateful day that Shiksha decided to challenge me to a dance. And it was, what do you call that?
It was
dance?
A Bollywood dance.
Bollywood dance, yeah. So after that, msanii akajitolea nikona, if she can do it, who am I to say no?
Hey, whomst am I to say no? Whomst am I? He's a great dancer, just by the way. Like, you know, he's got the rhythm and he doesn't have 2 left feet, which is amazing. So if you want to go and check out...
loud about that, because Cheeky still calls me an amateur, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, can you please?
Cheeky. Yeah. I don't think he's an amateur, maybe intermediate, but he's getting there. You'll take that?
I'll take that.
Yeah, is there anything that, you know, you hope to come out of, or to come from this, you know, newfound love for dance? Or you've always liked to dance?
Okay, I used to dance way back, but then later on I pursued music, then things shifted, you know. But the end goal, I definitely want to perform at some point. And other than just performing, you know, I can get a set where I just play the instrument, I might just where I just dance, you know, nothing. To be spontaneous and just surprise my fans, you know. They're used to a specific storyteller.
A specific genre of performances, right? But now you want to do something. So you never know, he might just be the next Chris Brown of Kenya, right?
Oh, Chris Brown might be the next one.
Hey! And you don't have a mic. If you had a mic, I'll tell you to drop the mic, but you have a guitar. But it's okay, the guitar you can't drop. Drop it. No. Let's not do that. And tell me. It's insured. Yeah, it's insured. Yeah. Man thinks ahead of his game, right?
You have to, yeah.
You have to. And Viri, tell me about your relationship with Sauti Sol. Like, you know, when we saw Rumba Japani happen, we've seen Niko Sawa with BN. Like, you're always collaborating, you're always creating music together, creating magic together. And they're very supportive towards you and Ben Soul, of course, towards Soul Generation in general. How has that been for you? I know it's been life-changing, but maybe you can tell me more about that.
The best part is we all understand and appreciate each other's craft and talent. So we met at a point where every person's word counts.
Okay.
So with that said, everyone has the freedom to express themselves the way they feel like. The only part we come in is in terms of technical corrections, you know, or just a suggestion. So it's never like I'll write you a song. It will be like, okay, this line can be done this and this, then you give me your perspective and it works. And through that, it has actually made most of our songs be more universal and relatable.
Absolutely.
Because I might approach a song from my own perspective, then someone comes in and gives me another lens to it. So and also people are really writing. You know, you wake up in the morning and someone challenges you like, "Oh, Viri, yesterday I wrote 2 songs."
Then you're just like, I haven't even written one.
Okay. Yesterday I was on Netflix
watching movies.
Yeah, so that competition is really healthy.
Yeah.
Because you know, the birds of a feather type of a thing.
Yeah, they flock together.
Yeah, when we're together, actually, you get inspired more. The push is actually more organic. Yeah.
You know, they say the Sauti Sol family, that's what they call them. It's actually a family, Soul family. Because they live together, you know, they're always together. They really have the sort... Purpose and sharing, but you know, they're always doing things together, and I absolutely admire that, because as you said, it's very good for your creative juices, and it's very good for you as an artist as well to grow, because when someone is doing something that you get inspired by, it also makes you think on your feet, right? So do you think that's been something that has really helped you stay disciplined to your craft and, you know, continue in the direction you're going with the same focus?
That is very true.
Yeah,
because as a videographer, I used to do 50-50, a videographer by day, musician by night.
Yeah.
Then I remember there was a challenge I was given whereby you need to stick with your kind, just so you know what's happening in the industry. And the moment I did that, I learned a lot.
Stick with your kind.
Yeah. Honestly, it does help. And it teaches you new things. You're educated every single day. The stimulation is always there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you get to a point where you don't have motivation. You know, we all get to that point where you can't motivate yourself. But then in such an environment, whether you know it or not, you still get, inspired. And you get to serve your 10,000 hours without knowing, you know. You might be thinking that I have to wake up every day and do pay my dues, but it happens even without you knowing. Just being in the right environment, listening to people doing their thing, you still pick up on things.
It really helps you grow, right?
Yeah.
Right. And when you speak of collabos, I mentioned that you've done a collabo with BN. Do we see you collabing with any other artists? Who would you like to collabo with in future?
Well, I've already started doing collabos.
Hey, okay.
I was thinking of local collaborations.
Right.
But Mandem has gotten collaborations from outside, so who am I to say no?
Oh, so we see that happening in the near future?
Yo, consider it done.
Consider it done?
Consider it
Something
done.
he's not telling us, but we'll get an exclusive shortly. So he said
you
that
will get an exclusive.
I will get.
Then I come and talk about it.
And then I come and talk about it later.
Yeah.
Done. Absolutely. So yep, he will be doing lots of collaborations in future with international artists, and that's something that I'm super excited for. And Viri has always been the type to, be the lover boy kind in terms of your music. You've got that soft heart thingy going on day to day. But let me ask you, is that the only kind of genre of music that you want to focus on, or is there something else that you want to try and experiment with?
It's very diverse, honestly. It's no longer just the lover boy bit.
Yeah.
Of course, I started off with the bad boy vibe.
Yes.
From a cigar overdose, he was bad, Then just to show diversity, I did the likes of Lesotho.
Yes.
I did Kesi Badai. What else? Okay, Bar, my wind. Let me go into the new album. I sang about bar, not bar. I sang about there's the birthday song. Yeah?
Yes, the birthday
and
song.
And also Kitenge. Yeah, and just if you pay more attention to my music, it's never just me singing. There's always a learning experience behind all.
There's a lesson in that particular song.
Always, yeah. When you go through them, even when we sit down, I shall take you through it. For me to be called a storyteller, there's always an agenda behind it.
Very visual, right?
Even the bad boy vibe still has an agenda behind it.
Let's talk about the bad boy vibes since you've mentioned it. So, we've seen a lot of things on the blogs, and you're a public figure. You are expected to experience this sort of negative attention once in a while. How do you deal with it?
Well,
do you pay attention to it, or you're just the kind who blocks it all?
To the right thing. I pay attention to the right things.
Okay.
And considering I'm very intentional about everything I do, So when the blogs come out and they are wrong about what I know, what is known, I definitely do not engage.
Okay.
And eventually the truth comes out. I'm a firm believer of the truth always comes out. So I let that be. It by any means does not affect me or my productivity. So I try as much as possible not to be affected by it.
Stay
of course,
positive.
it gets worse. It gets worse sometimes and intense. But I have my supporters who are always there also.
And you have your support system.
Because the times when things are going sideways, I come back home and I have people who already know who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, the in and out of Mviri. So I don't really worry much. I'd be worried if my own family thought of it the same way.
Okay.
But if my farm is farm, if my farm is farm, not for the people on the other side.
This is a quote we're going to use. If my farm is farm.
By the storyteller himself.
We'll give you the credit, don't worry.
Please do. Yeah, so if your family is farm, then everything else is sorted.
All right.
Yeah, so that support system is always important.
And cyberbullying, you're a young guy, like we've all experienced cyberbullying on social media once or twice in our careers. How do you deal with that? Are you the kind who blocks people as well? Because I do.
Not really.
No? Doesn't get to you?
I ignore it.
You ignore it? Okay.
And I think I've blocked oh no, I don't block people because of cyberbullying. It's just harassment, so,
okay.
Yeah, people getting a bit too
personal.
Too much. Not even personal. A bit too
much in your business. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well,
it's okay. Sing for us.
Crossing my barriers.
I gotcha.
Yeah, because I have my beliefs and whatever. So if you cross that, then I definitely cancel you out.
Hey.
Otherwise, everyone is open to opinions.
Yeah, because you're a friendly guy. I wouldn't imagine you having beef with anyone per se.
And actually, haters in a way add more attention.
Our
to
admirers in disguise at the end of the day. Yeah. So Nviri, tell us about your future projects. In the next 5 years, where can we see Nviri the storyteller? You've already mentioned that you've got international projects coming up. You've mentioned that you're going to be collaborating with some international acts. Give us an exclusive, Manze.
The truth is, I'd like to talk about 5 years, but surprisingly, within just a couple of months, I've surpassed my
5-year plan.
No 5-year plan, but what I had in plan for probably the next 1 or 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so with that being said,
yes,
I'm pretty sure my 5-year whatever comes out in 5 years will even surprise me.
Right.
So I'm in no space to limit that.
Okay.
Yeah, so
be limitless.
Kabisa. So let it go. So I'll just serve whatever is happening right now, and by the end of the year you'll definitely be surprised.
Okay.
Are you
going to release an album for us that you're not telling us about?
Why not? You know, I was thinking of EPs because I have a lot of songs. You know, the catalog is yeah, so the easiest way is just to release them in a body of work.
Right.
So probably an EP or album, and you know, it's crazy because even right now I'm from the studio, just so you know. I've just recorded a song right now before I showed up
before this.
Yeah.
So endorphins are high, right?
I'm just after this Ndani Tena another banger.
Once again, hard work, and hard work always pays off at the end of the
passion,
day, right?
You know, with hard work and passion also,
Passion is very important.
Because for me, it's passion, most definitely,
Yeah. Your love for music is something that we've seen through your songs, and you know, speaking of love, Nviri, you're a good-looking guy. I want to know, are you single?
Depends with who's asking.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. Okay, but I'm asking, are you single?
Definitely.
Yeah?
You don't need to ask me twice. Consider me single.
Consider you single.
But I actually am.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay, he's confirmed. See, we've been looking for an exclusive for a while. He's finally given it to us.
Actually, this is the first time I've said I'm single.
Nviri is single. Clap for him. Ladies, hit his DM. Don't be too aggressive. You know, he likes a girl to be very calm, cool, collected. So yeah, in fact, message me. I'll give you tips.
Allah.
I've been friends with him for a while, so I can tell you that, you know, the kind of person
they better know how to
dance. You must know how to dance. You must be passionate about whatever you do in life. And you must have a vision. Because he's a visual guy, storyteller, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
I'm more attracted to the mind.
The mind? Okay.
I believe I've seen almost everything. So I need something challenging, which should be the mind, most definitely. And dance. That's why I put in dance there, because other than the mind, dance definitely does a thing to me nowadays.
It really helps you, you know what you want in terms of women.
No, really, but well, now that you've mentioned it.
All right. So, Nviri, you know, you've got like so many hits under your belt. What's your favorite song? I've never asked you this, but I would really be curious to know. What do you feel the most? Which song do you feel the most as Nviri?
I'd want to say my next song.
Your next song?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
So it's going to be the best, according to you?
If you ride with me, you'll notice I listen to very specific songs, and these are unreleased songs.
Okay.
I just listen to them over and over and over.
Yeah.
But once they are released, I no longer think about them.
And let's talk about...
It's like a parent. Once your kid is grown and is working,
so as we wrap up, Nviri, I want to ask you to give some advice to all the young viewers out here. You know, making it into the music industry is not easy, and you need a lot of passion, dedication, talent. So what advice would you give all the young musicians who are looking up to you? What will you say to them?
First of all, you know, for someone to be able to sell their tomato in a market, it has to be different from someone else's tomato. So first is just being unique. Of course, you already know how the market is. What new can you bring into the market? That's one. And second of all, like I said, you cannot cheat the universe. Whatever you put into it is what you get out of it. Hakuna siku utaamka half a day, then you expect to achieve something that someone has achieved in a full day. Yeah, as simple as that.
Interesting. All right. So Nviri, we want you to perform for us.
Okay.
Two of my favorites. I've chosen them, and you like them too. So we'll be getting Cole Jacks later on. Of course, we'll be ending with an absolute bang, and just making sure that, you know, the audience is really enjoying the show the way we like to see Nviri. They have to really feel the vibes, right? It's very important. Next week we'll be having a new co-host as well, right here on #Easy Friday, so keep it locked. We'll make sure that we bring to you everything in terms of entertainment. For now, Cole Jacks, are you ready with the next track? Nviri, you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, always ready.
Perform.
Yes, you must.
Do you want me to dance?
Wait,
I can exercise my dance skills.
I want to see you dance.
Hey, here goes nothing.
I believe in you.
All right, let's go.
Lakini baby usijali, ukezi tutajibu baadaye. You see our love is so perfect, I can't deny it. But your father wants me in a casket, I think he's no playing. As in the way we sneak at night when he goes to sleep. Drink and drive or we take the risk. Got to all copy at my police. Girl, I would never leave you alone, ay. Best believe my pain. Siwezi kukuacha peke yako. Wazazi wameshikanare, eti penzi letu tuisare. Lakini baby usijali, ikezi tutajibu baadaye. Wazazi wameshikanare, eti penzi letu tuisare. Lakini baby usijali, ikezi tutajibu baadaye. 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 Cheki dere wetu amebleki, hatuwezi enda home. Sisi wote tumeishiwa na seti. But your friends that are gone, just let them be. We'll stare at the stars and make a wish. Prove to the world we meant to be. Yeah. We should be heading home, baby, to an end. But that is our song, kuja tucheze. Ijampata mpenzi kama wewe. Wazazi wameshikanare, eti penzi letu tuisare. Lakini baby usijali, ikezi tutajibu baadaye. Wazazi wameshikanare, eti penzi letu tuisare. Lakini baby usijali, ikezi tutajibu baadaye. Ikezi tutajibu baadaye. Ikezi tutajibu baadaye. Ikezi tutajibu baadaye. Leo siku yako ya kuzaliwa, kula na kunywa na kusazama. Leo niiteni mheshimiwa, baba freshi marashi nimejaa. Maheta wako pale kwenye kona, macho pembeni wakitazama. Ila usiogope, choma picha, kesi baadaye, hesabu lawama. Don't be crying on your birthday, mama. Tell them it's your birthday. Stay away from bad vibes and all the drama. Tell them it's your birthday. Go ahead and dip it low, drop it low for your homeboy, mama. Tell them it's your birthday. Do what you wanna and be who you wanna, forgive and let it come on. Baby tumejiseti, we on the highway. Tukafunga breki, tukaanza bishana, asking who is Diana, vipi mnajuana. I swear tumejibetray, baby tumejiseti, cause love isn't here right now. I guess we'll never know, mali hii story ingeenda. Tulichoanza kuja tumalize, kinachokwaza baby ziandike. Punguza drama, baby zitushike, washa kishada.
I don't wanna argue, kako sawa miko sawa, kako sawa miko sawa. Akizile vitu tulipanga, ukanishukisha namba. Najuna misi hiki tanda, vile visa na visanga. Akizile vitu tulifanya, kamlo
a pretty college.